Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. The number 5 Georgia Bulldogs go into Austin, take down the number 1 Texas Longhorns. They double them up 30-15. The Bulldogs will get their road victory, handing Texas its first loss of the season. The Bulldogs entered the game, the betting underdogs for the first time since 2021.
Yeah.
And that was the season opener, a span of 50 games. They jumped out to a 23-0 halftime lead. And guess what? They really, really never was challenged. The top 5 showdown did not. It wasn't what we thought it would be, Ocho.
No. Not even close.
Quinn Ewers was benched temporarily. Arch Manning came in for a couple of series, and then when it came out of the half, they went back to Ewers. They got 15. I think they got it 23-15, but Texas had a hard time moving the ball up and down the field. An overturned defensive pass interference called by the officials after the Longhorn fans threw debris onto the field late in the third quarter, something that you nor I don't think I've ever seen before.
No.
Ocho, but when you watch this game, what did you like about what you saw from the Bulldogs?
Listen, pure domination, huh? Pure domination, especially that first half. The game is one up front, and Georgia proved that tonight. The first half, goddamn Texas was 0 for 7 on third down.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't even get a third down. Listen, Jalen Walker, that's his name, right? Am I saying it right? Is it Jalen or Javon?
I think, what is he, defensive lineman, defense?
Man, hey, he
was Jay Walk, yeah.
Yeah, hey, boy, you the real deal. I know you're going to see this, Jalen Walker, you was the real deal. I will see you on Sundays. Other than that, man, the supporting cast for that Georgia defense, man, they was all over the place. Obviously, they played the quarterback carousel, trying to get a spark on offense. Texas did, putting Arch Manning in, but he was overwhelmed a little bit. He was overwhelmed. Yeah. I know he looked good when Ewers was out earlier in the season, a few games, but they weren't playing that guy.
They weren't playing Georgia.
No, they weren't.
Or the level of talent that Georgia has.
Yeah, completely different. It's a different ball game. Arch came in there, tried to give him a little spark. It didn't work. They went back to Ewers. They started to get the offense going a little bit. But not enough. Not enough. And again, that wasn't a PI too. On that call we talked about.
Yeah. It should have never been called.
No.
But Ocho, I've never seen officials go back and say it wasn't pass interference.
But listen, the only reason they were able to deliberate on whether it was pass interference or not is because all the fans threw all the damn
all that trash, and they didn't want to get it. Yeah,
exactly. So if they didn't throw all that stuff on the field, the call would have stood. The pass interference would have stood. I believe so too. But the fact that you gave him too much time to deliberate, boom. I mean, it just wasn't. The DB had just as much right to the ball as a receiver, and you can't make contact. You don't run into the man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That could have been offensive because he pushed off, and the ball was outside, and so the DB was already outside, and so he picked it. But I agree with you. I had never seen anything like that. Not a call like that. It's almost like headquarters like that wasn't PI.
Right.
And all of a sudden, because I'm like,
the refs have.
They got
access to the rest of the ear.
Yeah, they got, because when they call targeting, you go to central control, just like the NFL. When you have a challenge, you got to go to central control. So they absolutely. But still, even though I believe it was the wrong call in the beginning,
right?
I have never seen them pick a flag up like that.
No.
It's no. So it was the right call, but I don't know under the right circumstances, to do that, because everybody's going like, man, how is that possible? And Kirby was like, hold on, wait a minute. You picked the flag up. You said it wasn't PI. Kirby wanted an explanation. I think everybody wanted an explanation. But I don't believe the original call was right. I don't believe it was a defensive pass interference or contact or whatever the terminology or phrase you want to use. I don't believe George. I don't believe the Texas cornerback. I don't believe he hindered him. No. I thought the offensive tried to disengage by shoving him.
Right.
But the ball was so poorly thrown, it was outside, and it hit the DB right in the chest. So he had no choice but to catch it. I'm surprised and with the ease in which Georgia did this, because Texas was only giving up 6 points. They go on the road. They beat Michigan. Now, after Michigan got beat by Indiana is a little better than we thought. They go on the road and their rival game, they go to a neutral site and they beat the brakes off of Oklahoma. Yeah. Oklahoma just got trounced by South Carolina. Yeah. I think that's their biggest loss at home since 2014 or something like that. So now Oklahoma, it's got me, and I think the world of Sark, but it's got me reevaluating what I should think about Texas, Ocho. It really does. Yeah, they played some inferior competition and they hung points on the board on them. Right. But when I look at their big wins, supposedly, allegedly, they beat Michigan. Yeah. And they beat Oklahoma. Right. Do we think Michigan and Oklahoma are really good this year? Absolutely I don't think
not.
So.
Absolutely not, because most of the players that made them what they were last year and they were so good, everybody gone. Yep. Everybody is gone. So now teams are being exposed as opposed to the next man up and who's up, and they're living off of last year's success, expecting those teams to be just as good. So Texas was exposed tonight. But again, I think the exposure came strictly from the interior, and the Texas O-line ain't shabby.
No.
Them boys ain't shabby.
Neither is their defensive line. Right. But it just goes to show you the level of talent that Georgia has. Your quarterback turned the ball over 3 times, and you won by double digits. Hold on. Remember, Ocho, he had that many turnovers against Alabama, and they took the lead. When you can turn the ball over like Georgia turned it over and still win the ball game?
Well, you know what the problem is not only you turning the ball over, once you get the ball back, Texas ain't doing nothing with the goddamn ball. Yeah. You ain't doing nothing with the ball because the defense was playing that well.
And then Texas gave 4 turnovers. They had 2 fumbles by Ewers. They had 1 by Arch. When you play a team like Georgia, you're going to have to be damn near perfect. Mm-hmm. And the last thing you can do is turn the ball over. Yeah. Even if you're at home, because when you play a team like Georgia, unless you're as equally as talented as they are, they're going to run away from you. Mm-hmm. And there are not very many teams in the country that's equally talented that can match up with them on both offense and defensive line and the skill positions. Right. There are not very many teams in the country. Now we're going to see. We'll see what Oregon, if they play Oregon or they play a Penn State or they play some of the other top teams. But when you look at Georgia and the way they're built, Kirby has built this team like those old Alabama teams where he was the D coordinator on. Let me go get O-line. You build from front to back. You build from offensive line back. You build from defensive line back. Yeah. That's the way Coach Saban built those Alabama teams. That's the way Kirby Smart is building this Georgia team. And they've enjoyed a level of dominance since 21 that we haven't seen in a while, since those Alabama teams were doing it like that. But Georgia's really good. Look, I know they've lost to Alabama, but it's hard for me to believe that there's a better team than Georgia. I know Oregon is the number 2 seed at ranked number 2, and they went on the road and they thumped Purdue. And I know they beat Ohio State at home. But watching with my own eyes, I don't see a team better. Penn State, nah.
At one point, do you think, what are the chances? I mean, at some point, I know they probably will, or I don't know. Will Oregon play Georgia at some point, or it wouldn't be until there's some type of playoff implication?
Yeah, playoff implication. Yeah. They're on two different conferences.
The speed, the only thing with Georgia, I think they will still dominate in the trenches as far as up front is concerned.
For sure.
When I think about Oregon, I think about finesse and speed. Mm-hmm. I think about finesse and speed. They got some hogs, but they don't have no hogs like Georgia has. But I think the edge as far as in the game is because Oregon is so goddamn fast. Yeah. It's so fast. They so fast from sideline to sideline. As far as skill position is probably equal, but I don't know. I think it would be a very, very good game. It'd be a very good game.
But here's the thing: when you play Georgia, it's just like any other. You got to be physical.
You have to. You ain't got no choice.
You got to be physical because they're not gonna let you get outside. Mm-mm. And they're gonna run. They're gonna play bully football. That's the way they're built. They're built to play a physical brand of football. We're not gonna get
way down.
That's what they do. They wear you down. I was like, boy, Texas, y'all playing with fire. Y'all getting all these turnovers and you're not doing anything with them. I say, now this momentum's going to shift. Now, what happens if you start to turn the ball over?
Right.
Because right now, everything is going in your favor. You're creating turnovers. You're getting short field, and you're not doing anything with it. Now, when this momentum flips,
right,
you start turning the ball over. Or Georgia, all of a sudden, you don't turn it over. Even if you punt the ball away, they hold you and you punt the ball away. Right. What happens when they get momentum? And you see what happened, 23-0 at the half.
Mm.
So the Georgia Bulldogs go on the road to Austin, take down the #1 Longhorns 30-15. Beck did not play well, 3 interceptions. Quinn Ewers did not play well. Ewers are going to have to find a way in big, meaningful games. And I think there's one game, Alabama last year, I thought he played really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
He played really, really well, Ocho. But he has an injury history, and he hasn't played consistently in big games.
In big games, yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see. For me, after watching these guys, Cam Ward, I like Cam Ward, but it's hard to say that there's better quarterbacks that's going to be in this 2025 draft that's better than Shedeur.
No, absolutely not. I think Shedeur is the clear #1 favorite as far as quarterbacks are concerned. I don't see anyone probably being picked before him as far as #1 is concerned. I think the next player after him would probably be maybe a D tackle, maybe a defensive end, maybe a right guard. Some of the big boys that have been playing very well this year. But Shedeur is the clear favorite. He's a clear favorite. And I still think, I don't know if the injuries will play any type of part. I still think that Travis Hunter also has a chance to go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe top 3, maybe top 5. I would like to say top 3 if we can figure out, the injuries and what's going on with them, with those.
But, Ocho, we got to factor in. That's why they don't let guys play all those snaps. Your body.
Yeah. But he young, Unc. He young.
Ocho, I don't care how young you are, Ocho. Playing 130 snaps a game is not conducive. Now think about that. He played 130 snaps in college.
Right.
You think he gonna play 130 snaps in the NFL? Absolutely not.
No, probably not.
Ocho, what's happening to him?
Body breaking down?
Ocho, you can't play those snaps. The body.
Hold on. Wait, what injury? What is the injury? Do you know?
He hurt his shoulder.
Oh, okay. I don't think hurting your shoulder is really not a type of injury that's a reflection of
when you get tackled, you fall on the ground. When you tackle somebody, you doing that 100 times a game. Now, normally, Ocho, when you play offense, you might get hit 10 times a game if you catch the ball,
right?
Or you fall on the ground. So imagine you playing 100+ snaps, you tackling, and you getting tackled.
Yeah, those hits are magnified, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest. Could somebody? Yeah, there have been a lot of guys that probably could have played it, but the game is sped up. It's a lot more. It's a lot more conditioning now, and he has the condition.
Right.
But you're asking someone to put that amount of snaps on his body week in and week out. That's the biggest difference, is the physicality in the NFL.
Especially at the next level. But if there's one person I would love to see do it, there's one person I would love to see prove those, I'm not going to say doubters, those that feel he can do it, I would love to see him do it. I'm sure whatever team he goes to, they're going to have some, like we've always said, I think you and Prime, Prime really won't give us an answer. I think you prefer him to play DB. I'd prefer him to be at the wide receiver position, simply from a financial standpoint, long term, with the type of money they can command when you're really, really good at what you do. I'm excited for him. He says he can do it. The fact that he believes he can, but once you got it here and believe you can do it, despite what we may think, based on the physicality of the game at the next level and how close the competition is. But when you're part of the 1%, if there's somebody I think that may be able to pull it off, even if we feel he can't, I would love to see him do it just to prove some people wrong.
Well, it's not a point that he can't. Yes, he can do it. But at what point is it a diminishing return?
Okay, I see what you mean.
At what point does the receiver, does it suffer? At what point does it the DB, does it suffer? Because you want to be great, but then let's just say he's a great wide receiver, but then his defensive then it hurts the defensive side. Or he's great on the defensive side, and it hurts the offensive side. At some point in time, Ocho, it has to be a diminishing return.
Right. Some got to give, huh?
Some got to give, Ocho.
Yeah.
That many, Ocho, you think about the most snaps I've ever played in the game, I think is about 93. And I'm just offensive snaps.
Right.
Imagine playing 100 plus every game, 16 games, 17 games. Ocho, that's 1,700 plays.
But you know,
that's 2 seasons.
Yeah, it is. But when you think about it, Unc, the level of competition and of the elites that are at the NFL level, he won't be able to just take someone's position on both sides of the ball like that. That's why I think whichever.
Well, that's what we try to see. You and I are smart enough to say, okay, put him in packages. If he's gonna play, okay, we got a couple of packages for you on the offensive side.
Right.
Okay, we got some defensive packages, but everybody's talking about, he gonna play both. He gonna start both offense and defense.
Hey, that's tough, boy. That's tough. That's tough. And I would like people to be a little bit more realistic. I think for us that have played the game and those that also playing the game and that are playing the game right now have a better understanding. You like the attitude of and the feeling of I can do both. But with great understanding on how good everybody really is, that's a tall task. That's a tall task, boy.
Some of the guys that he played against, Ocho, is not going to make it to the NFL.
Yeah,
every guy he plays against on Sunday is in the NFL.
Right.
That's what when people say, "Oh, this college team could beat a pro team."
Shit.
I said, "Look,
even the best Alabama teams,
Bama, Florida State,
LSU,
LSU,
that 2019 LSU team, put them against the worst NFL team.
They beat the hell. The NFL team will beat the hell. Them grown ass men.
Hey, we talk about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow,
Edwards-Helaire.
They will get mollywopped, man. They get mollywopped.
People don't understand that that's a grown man.
Yeah.
Y'all having good time, and that was a historically great team.
It was.
But them grown men now.
It's a different ball game, boy.
Bad, please. But look, he's a phenomenal talent. He's as good a talent as I've seen. Now, I don't know how you quantify him. Like I said, I didn't pay that close of attention to some of the guys because I was playing. So I didn't have the kind of time like we have now to just watch Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball. Right. I was in the league when Champ Bailey was doing what he was doing. I was in the league when Charles Woodson was doing what he's doing. And I was in the league with Miles Jack, but I wasn't really paying attention and we didn't have a show like we have with Nightcap, where we're talking about a lot of different things on a night. Basically, you got once a week we talk about something and then we moving on. But in this situation, the studying, like I said, I'm pretty close to Bo's age. I'm pretty close to Time's age. Those are the two greatest athletes that I've seen with my own eyes.
Yeah. Especially Bo. Shit.
Man. And like I said, play offense and defense. I saw Time do it. I saw Time do it in the NFL. I saw him play offense and defense.
Yeah.
I saw him start. They had some packages for him. But it'd been interesting to see, next time we have Mo, we're going to ask him, do you believe you could have played an entire season playing both sides of the football? I'm talking about every snap. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw him do it.
Yeah.
Playing every snap.
You're probably going to say yeah.
he might, but the one thing he gonna be honest with you now.
Yeah,
he gonna be honest. He obviously has supreme confidence in his ability, and rightfully so. Yeah. The hardest thing to do, most people say the hardest thing to do is to hit a baseball. The man played in a football game and went and played in a World Series game. He's hit home runs. He's hit inside the park homers, double, triple. He's picked off a pass. He's run a punt back. He's run a kickoff back. He's caught a touchdown. He's run a reverse. We ain't gonna finna doubt him because we've seen it at the highest level. So we've seen this man on the baseball field, Ocho, at the majors. We've seen him in Super Bowls. We've seen him be an All-Pro. Like I said, he's been an All-Pro at 3 different teams.
Yeah.
Only 2 other men have ever done that, T.O. and Ted Hendricks. So that takes you to the level. If I'm not mistaken, I think Time has more All-Pro teams than Pro Bowl selections. Let that sink in.
That's crazy.
Like I said, Ocho, people don't realize how good time was because you know what I'm saying, we've been so far removed from it now. So you see, you see the YouTube clips, but some things you have to be able to see through your own eyes.
With your own eyes, yeah. Hey, do you put Jordan? Do you put Jordan in that same class?
Oh yeah. You had to see.
Hold on, I'm saying being a two sport athlete, even though he tried his hand at baseball, but he wasn't good and efficient.
No.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
No. Jordan is a historically great basketball player.
But you don't give him the credit for trying his hand at baseball?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you could try. Right. I mean, yeah, he tried. I mean, but he didn't get called up to the majors. That's where the big boys are.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that are lifetime. It's kind of like there's the levels to this. There's the NBA, and then you can go to the G League. You can play overseas.
Right.
The NBA is the NBA. Mm-hmm. Guys play semi-pro. Well, I played semi-pro. That ain't NFL.
Right.
NFL. That's what, if you're talking about pro football, now there was 2 leagues when they had the USFL.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the guys, Reggie White played in the USFL.
Right.
There are a lot of guys that played that came over and had Sam Mills, rest his soul. He started in the USFL, the field mouse. There are a lot of guys that played in there, but people didn't look at them. Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, guys. But when you got your cred, you know what I'm saying? You got your cred, Ocho, when you came to the NFL.
Yeah.
You get your cred when it says NBA, MLB,